So my name is Janice Shen. I'm an attorney here at Everwill, and I have been doing estate planning for about 5 years now. I love it. So I grew up in Southern California, lived in the Valley most of my life. My immediate family is tiny. It's just my sister and I with my parents. I have a lot of cousins. I have maybe 30 cousins, and we're super close. Family is everything to me. I wasn't raised by my mom and my dad. I was actually raised by my grandmother. It's just because for them as immigrants, it was really difficult, not knowing the language and financially struggling. And so now that I have a son, now that I'm a mom, a lot of things that they did in their lives was for my benefit and my sister's benefit. The person that I am right now, or today, is truly shaped by my grandfather, my grandmother. We all are who we are because of how we were raised, whether we like it or not. My friends and family would describe me as probably a hard worker, probably someone that can enjoy themselves. I take work very seriously, but I also take my off time very seriously as well. If I'm involved in something, it's because I'm putting my all into it. I think clients really enjoy the fact that they're able to speak freely in front of me. So whatever their situation is, whatever their family situation is, we're all human. Everyone has a story. What's important to me when I'm working with my clients is that they get to know me, because I want them to get to know me and feel relaxed so that I could get to know them. I think it's more about building connections and relationships. I think becoming a parent, I realized I just don't want to work in a field where I'm just working. I want to do something so that my son could look back and say, oh, my mom's not an attorney. She was an attorney that helped people, or she was someone that was able to do more than that. We're talking about things that people don't really like to discuss. We're talking about incapacity, we're talking about death, all these things that are it's uncomfortable, but I want them to feel open and not judged, because, I would not want to be judged when I'm talking about my family or my finances. So what's really important for me is to get to know the client and for them to understand that, we're all human. There's no right or wrong. It's just what matters to them. What I try to do is when I speak with clients, I try to explain estate planning in a way where they are able to understand, not in a way that I don't need to be the smartest person in the room. I just want you to know that this is my experience, this is the law, these are your options, and at the end of the day, it's your decision. And so that's more important to me, that my clients know what the law is and my clients know what their options are, because I think a lot of times people are afraid to speak with an attorney because they think that the attorney is just going to charge them a lot of money, and then the attorney is going to recommend something that doesn't really fit their needs. So with Everwill, it's not really about me telling them this is my idea, this is my recommendation. It's more about, well, these are your options. You could do A, B, or C, and these are the pros and cons. And if they ask for my opinion, I'll give it to them. Trust administration is the process in which, when a trust maker dies, an attorney typically helps the family members in what needs to be done. So because I've been able to help about 120 families go through that process, I think it makes me a better planner, because I tell them, well, you could write this down on a piece of paper or go online and get this online, but I've actually seen it in real life, and this is what really happens. So I typically like to give my clients my legal advice and my practical advice. And so they should really know, what happens in real life and not just theory. With Everwill, the attorneys have the experience of planning or pre-planning before someone passes away, and actually experience with people once a trust maker dies, so that I could explain to them, well, this is what you should do or this is what you shouldn't do. Everwill is definitely unique because it's not a typical law firm. I think we're here for a bigger purpose. When I ask my clients, what their legacy is, I tend to have some clients that take a step back and feel like they don't even have a legacy. And that's what makes me sad when I speak with some of my clients that think, oh, well, I don't really have a legacy. I don't really have a house. And so I don't want people to think that just because you don't own a home or you don't have $10 million in the bank, you don't have a legacy. It's definitely a lot more than that, because money is great. I mean, everyone needs money to survive here in America, right? But at the end of the day, it comes and goes. And so your legacy is more than just what's in your bank or what you own.